It was a dark and stormy day as the Alliance gathered their forces to begin the assault of the Arathi Basin. More so the defense, as the other side, the Horde, go to assault. Morale stepped out of the building, slowly but surely. But little did he know, as the rain poured on him, that he would turn into Gamon.
I, Gamon, will save us.
Anyway, hey guys, how's it going? Xylem Gaming here, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Arathi Basin. I'm glad that you guys are liking this stuff. I really enjoy doing some PvP videos, so if you guys are more interested in these types of videos, feel free to give a like, feel free to watch, just show me that you want the support. Now then, in 17 seconds, we're going to get out there, we're going to show them just our healing abilities, because we suck at it, and yeah, so here we go. In 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alright, so let's see what we get. Alright, so Gamon on a horse. Here we go. Alright, so I am probably going to head to Lumber Mill, because that's where stereotypically every Alliance player goes. So for those Horde... Alright, for those Horde who are watching, feel free to, check us out at Lumber Mill, because that's where we go. We special people, though. We're special. Alright, so let's get out here. I really enjoy the rain. And as it rained in the dark night, those that were ready for an assault came, and they fought at the Lumber Mill. Each one better skilled than the last. But who would win this fight? Who would be the ultimate victor? We will see. Their forces, as much as the Horde might, quickly begin to dwindle. The rest of us, ready, willing to show ourselves and kick their faces into the dirt. Deliciousness. However, try as we might, it seems as though the Horde offer much resistance against our force, but we push on. We show them that, hey, even we are pretty good people, son.
The spell isn't ready yet.
And as we continued to show us might against the Horde, it seemed as though their numbers were endless. They continued to willing to give their lives to the cause. It seems whatever Vol'jin is telling them to smoke, it's working out for them pretty well. But little did they know that the tranquility would give us life. The tranquility would renew us, and just like that, the tide of the battle started to turn. Quickly, the Alliance began to push themselves into the Horde with much power, wisdom, and might.
I can't do that.
Now, the Horde understands. The Alliance cannot be beaten here in the Lumber Mill. And just like that, the Horde forces were no more. And now it is time for Gamon to say goodbye. You know what occurs to me is that the fact that you remain Gamon as you become a cat.
That spell isn't ready.
Little did we know
That's still
that Shaman
charging.
and the Hunter were getting some ideas. Except not really, because the Shaman's not doing anything. It was sad.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Gamon continued to walk, with no fear in his hand, and he dashed away all. Little did he know he was bringing forces to the Alliance, as they seemed to be ready for a mission on their own accord. Find and stop the power of the blacksmith. The blacksmith, the area where your armor may be repaired.
I can't kill
under invasion. And we begin.
It's too far away.
To the oblivion. Alright, so I think I just got left behind to defend the base. Why you leave healer behind for this? Oh look, I was the cat flying. And as we wait, as we wonder just what it is that we're supposed to be doing here. Okay. Alright guys, so anyway, that was really interesting. We lose Silver Mill. Little did the Alliance know that running away from the base that we were protecting so closely in the beginning would end up being lost because we didn't protect it in the end. May save you. Is shocked as well. Just watch. Watch and listen. Where is the Alliance being attacked most? Gamon questioned this authority. Gamon would save us once again. Try as he might, though, he was unable to reach the Alliance in time. And just like that, the mind was taken over. Gamon looked down, a frown upon his face, but he saw a glimmer of hope, so he charged in anyway. The displacer. He began to take his offensive. The horde outnumbered them, 3-6, but this was no mere battle, for Gamon was ready. He grew with all his might, his power to heal, but it seemed as though
I can't cast that yet.
Already
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
He couldn't cast it as he walked around spamming things.
That ability isn't ready yet.
Yes.
That spell isn't ready
Yes.
yet. That's still
Allow
recharging.
them to know mercy.
That ability
They did their might. They tried.
That
They
spell
fought
isn't
hard.
ready yet.
But the numbers of the horde were quickly dwindling. They were making countless errors and mistakes that cost them dearly against the Alliance's might. And just like that, their numbers swelled once, but now nothing. All that was left was
I can't cast that yet.
and in the end, it proved unbalanced. We look now, and we watch the excitement as the numbers began to rise for the Alliance. They cheered as a victory was well fought, but somewhere else another victory would need to be secured. In the lands of the blacksmith, where once we had conquered, it was now in danger, and we needed to make sure that our foothold in that area was well secured. So with that, Gamon set off to the lands on his Rufus Ram.
That's still recharging.
Begin to amass once more. This time,
that spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast.
Don't worry, cried
That's
Gamon.
still
I'll heal you.
That
I,
spell isn't ready yet.
Gammon,
That's still
will
recharging.
save us.
I can't
And
cast.
with that, he began to
spell
heal with all of his might, helping Draenei and then a poor
That's still
Draenei. But
recharging.
little did he know, he was being
I can't
stalked.
cast that.
He was being watched. He was
That
being
spell isn't ready.
sure that he didn't do his
Not
job
ready
properly.
yet.
Oh, but Gamon
That's
was
still
trying to stop him.
recharging.
He wouldn't allow mere
I can't cast.
horde
that
to
yet.
stop his mission, and he began to slowly bring people to life. And then the tide of battle ceased as the Alliance once again had victory. But the thing was victory, but at what cost? As victory had been in one grasp, we quickly realized that the forces were moved somewhere else. There were 2 strategic points being taken over, and with that, Gamon had set off once more, this time to go help his fellow allies somewhere else. But as the Alliance had begun their victory, the Horde had...
That's still recharging. That spell is...
The numbers amassed, and they began to come in large depths until eventually Gamon could no longer withstand their powers. As Gamon fell, something else had risen. Something really of power and speed and might. They didn't realize it, but they actually had...
The doctor is in.
Dr. Krasnov. Yes, Dr. Krasnov had begun his epic adventures inside of the areas of the area out of Arathi Basin. The fight had begun. And this time, the Alliance were more behind their heroes. Quickly, Dr. Krasnov took it, the land of the state.
I can't do that.
He had begun its assault, and now it was time for him to show his ability to give blood back.
I can't cast
those he took.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Look at him. Look at his power. He
That
triumphed.
isn't
He
ready yet.
healed with vigor and showed his might. But of course, his foes were still under pressure. The might, the Alliance, began to show a slight wane in their ability, but that didn't stop him. No, he continued to do what he could.
That spell isn't ready
For his
yet.
fellow friends.
That's
Were in
still
danger,
recharging.
and it was all in his might to save them.
I can't do that yet.
Oh, that hurt. He quickly began to try to show himself off. But one of his friends had called
That spell isn't ready yet.
Eventually, the Horde had begun to overrun the area. But with great news, as the Alliance had taken over the area, if only briefly, to distract them. Krasnov ran. He tried to make himself a target to them. He tried to show that he would be able to be able to show that he was not going to fall so quickly. And with that, that's all he did not run so quickly he did. As already his foes had begun to crumble before them with their morale lost due to the fact that the Alliance had taken over. It was only a matter of time before their foes began to fall. It was said that there was we weren't entirely sure. The morale was still on the side of, was still more on the side of the Alliance. Oh my gosh, I burped. That was really bad. Anyway. And then, just like that, the lumber mill. The lumber mill had all of a sudden been taken over by the Alliance. Their power had been shown once more in a different location, but at what cost? Slowly after the lumber mill was taken, the blacksmith was taken by the Horde, and unfortunately, you can see the mines were too under attack, and the defense of the lumber mill had quickly come. But, good news, as the blacksmith had quickly begun to be taken over once more by the forces of the Alliance. They showed themselves to be powerful once more. And as other battles had taken place, small skirmishes, they began to charge with vigor and might. Oh, the Alliance, how powerful are they?
Not ready yet.
Eventually, the Horde scrambled, looking for places to overtake. They had a mission. They had work to do, and they needed to do it quickly, else suffer losing it. And so with that, they began their sights towards Fawn, and for a brief time they had taken it over. It seemed as though had begun their siege, and now
That's still recharging. I can't do that.
Dagnabbit, said Morals, as he began to climb up to the top.
That spell isn't ready
Where the
yet.
lumber mill had once been the Alliance, is now a Horde capital area. And now, Krasnov has fallen. Unfortunate, but not so lost. As Krasnov falls, another one comes to take his place. Yes, you heard him.
I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks.
Millhouse Manastorm.
I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks.
Is what he said as he ran into battle. He screamed, he yelled, he showed that he was ready to light some sweet cheeks up. I'm sorry that I made that noise, but little did he figure that the battle would be so intense, starting in areas of the blacksmith. The contested
That's
area
still recharging.
already beginning under Horde surveillance.
I can't
And
cast that yet.
Millhouse didn't even have an opportunity to sneak
Not
in.
ready.
He was already encountering many foes on
That
his,
spell isn't ready yet.
his epic fight. But he knew,
That's still recharging.
Millhouse knew, that if the Alliance just held on for a little while longer, then Millhouse and others would be victorious in their fight. And so, they continued to show their vigor.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Not to necessarily
do that
win,
yet.
but to stall.
I can't cast that
Stall
yet.
indeed they did.
That spell isn't
Many
ready yet.
forces of
I
the
can't
Horde
cast
began
that
to
yet.
mass
That's still
in this
recharging.
area.
That
And
spell
just
isn't
like
ready
that,
yet.
the Horde began to lose their areas of territory.
That's still
Their farm
recharging.
began to go off
I can't
the
cast
rails
that yet.
as once more the Alliance foes were on their tail. Shortly after that, it seemed as though the morale of the Horde was lost. And with that, the Alliance... And that was it, guys. Alright, so, that was a little bit something I wanted to try. I don't know, narration voice. I don't think it worked out so well, but if you guys liked it, feel free to let me know in the comments by saying, hey, we want to hear some more narrations. It was really a lot of improv, so I tried what I could. But anyway, guys, I hope you all have a swell day. And if you guys liked it, feel free to like, subscribe, and as always, stay saucy.